All right, so we got a big rip here today, a huge rip, enormous rip. So I did not expect, no, rather I'm lying to you by saying that. I did expect this to happen. We got dev notes recently, and when I was talking about it, I said the way they like sentenced that one thing about user-generated content, it was as if they were trying to say we're gonna crack down on leaks, because I had an idea they were doing it, and many things added up, so I was correct on that. It wasn't any other thing. It was mainly they're cracking down on leaked content and stuff like that. So today, let's talk about, I can't wait for those comments too. Today, let's talk about it. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's jump into it. So we got a tweet here, and again, I'm going to talk about this. I can't wait for those comments though. Notice on unpacking and leaking game content, we've discovered some cases of early acquisition and leaking of unofficial game content via unorthodox means. We'll be taking strict measures to deal with all the related issues. Basically, no more leaks, right? This similar thing happened at the beginning of the game when it was like in the Discord section, and like their main Discord, they said, do not touch leaks in here. That was the first thing. The second thing was the other Discords, they then said, do not touch leaks or we'll destroy you. And that's how it went, right? And then they said, haha, you don't mean it. And they continue to leak, and they continue to go on with that. Hence why we had our leaks. And again, remember, most of the people that are leaking are the KR players. And mainly the leaks come from the KR forum that's not taken care of. And that's literally just where it starts from, yeah? So recently, we didn't get our KR leaks, which we were wondering what's going on. Maybe they already went and cracked down on the KR players and said, nope, touch leaks again and you're done for. And hence why it's been a little bit more dead on leak side of things. Now again, there's two sides to this debate on every gacha game. This is the case. Just remember, there are always two sides to the opinion. Again, now from my last videos and the ones that I do remember people talking about leaks, it always ends up, or I do see a lot of people saying that leaks aren't good and they ruin hype. They do this, they do that. You have to realize, and in every gacha game that I play, leaks are fine, right? The company usually doesn't crack down on them, but they always help players. They do, okay? It gives a free-to-play an idea like, oh, this banner, I don't like it, or I might like it. Let's say I do like the banner actually, right? The next banner might get leaked. I'm like, oh, but I really like that banner, and it helps free-to-play players. Simple as that. Yes, the company may lose money in the end, or in the long run, which hence they don't like it. But again, most gacha games I play, they don't crack down on it. I've recently seen a lot of crackdown from just MiHoYo and now Nikke here, cracking down heavily on it. But again, it usually helps out the consumer, the free-to-play players that actually want to know what's next. It saved so many people's souls when it came to the Chainsaw Man collaboration, which was right after Soda. And you know how many people wanted Soda? They skipped Soda because of Chainsaw Man. Remember that too. So at the end of the day, it does help. Again, people use wrong reasoning to justify why it's bad. They're like, oh, it creates unnecessary hype for characters, that when they see it, they want that character, but that character becomes an NPC, then what happens? That doesn't make any sense, because they get the character in-game, they'll see the character. Like, for example, right now, you'll see D and you'll see K. Let's say you loved K. What do? You don't get K. So a leak just told you early that K might be coming. Here, it shows you that's not coming. You feel more miserable. You're like, oh, now I can't get the character till they later do it. So the reasoning people have been given on why leaks suck are incorrect. The main reasoning that stands is it ruins hype. As in, you know, you want the hype up from the actual Twitter account to give it to you. That's the only real reasoning there is. But again, it helps mainly free-to-play players, right? So that is there. But yeah, with that, and the other reason mainly being that there is a fact that some characters drop in a beautiful manner and they look outstanding in the leaks, right? And then that character gets nerfed heavily where they are censored or uncensored in some scenarios, right? So that happens too. Again, in that, you are right, mainly because yes, that does happen where players are like, oh, this design got ruined, butchered, destroyed. I see that happen, but mainly I think that's like the only reason, along with maybe ruining hype for some players. But if you don't want to see leaks, don't click on them. Don't follow leaked areas. It's gonna happen. Every game leaks stuff, and it's like, even if this crackdown happens, there'll still be people posting about it everywhere, and you'll still see it there. So mainly the reasons are if the censor occurs or doesn't, like the design gets changed and it sucks more. That's the only really thing. So that's there. I'm guessing that they're doing it now after the utter abomination of the hype that was lost because Nilister, which it's on them. That literally a leak just showed that Nilister's coming, and you would have seen her in story. People would have just reproduced that image, shown that image everywhere of her appearing in story, and being like, I'm saving for this pilgrim. The same way. Nothing would have changed if it got leaked. No one leaked it as a banner. We just know, like literally not a soul said that she is a confirmed banner. They just said that she could come soon as a pilgrim, right? Now, popped up in game as a, you know, what is it, a liberation unit. No one did that. That was them. That was literally on them. A leak did not do anything. They would have seen it in story the same way. So again, most of the reasoning here is pretty much false. Again, I don't see how, it's wrong, but I could be wrong here too. Give your opinion down below. Do you like leaks? Do you hate them? Doesn't matter what you say, actually, because it's going away. So that's really it. Again, people may still share it, which you can go and find the deep, dark areas of the leak side there and see if you can discover them. But I personally won't share them, and I won't give you any idea or indication if anything's going on. So just keep that in mind. But we'll read the article now, finally, without any more stalling. We have discovered some cases of early acquisition and leaking of game content that has not been officially released via unorthodox means. The game content concerned hereof includes character materials, skills, stats, images, and music in the game that cannot be obtained through normal gameplay. So that is there. Such leaks and related distribution will be significant, will have significant negative impact on the game's development and operation plans, and also spoils the fun and expectation of commanders who do not wish to see such leaks. Meanwhile, the illegal leaking of some unfinished content will mislead commanders and undermine the healthy game environment. So that's really it. Again, what I love to say here is it doesn't really mislead because they make the NPCs. Again, leaks aren't misleading unless, people in their head think, oh, this is 100% confirmed, something like that. But usually people understand, okay, it's a leak. Could happen, could not happen. When it doesn't happen, is what it is. But it's, most leaks have been 100% accurate. Recently, they started doing where they take the characters and make them NPCs. And then again, I'm 100% certain that Nilister caused this because they took the character. It was them doing it. They took the character, put her in Liberation. The same way, if there were no leaks for Nilister, people would have still seen her in story, and she would have still become a pilgrim, and people would have equally been mad. So every way you go about it, it's still on them for their decisions on what characters do. Like, they could have seen the hype that Nilister caused through leaks and then decided to make hella money off of it. They could have done it that way too, right? But again, could be biased. Who knows? We are committed to providing better and more surprising experiences for commanders and strive to maintain a fair and healthy gaming environment. We reserve the right to monitor such violations for the purpose of protecting our rights and interests. Unpacking and leaking our behaviors explicitly prohibited under the end user license agreement, and they constitute infringements and violations. Basically, yeah. So they can take whatever the compensation they want if you screw it up for them. So that's it. And then again, this is like the things you can't do. Reproduce, copy, distribute, display, mirror, frame, or use any of the materials, intellectual property, or anything, then you're done for. Attempt to reverse engineer any of it, you're done for. Of the code or anything, remove, disable, circumvent, or modify any technological measure we implement to protect them, you're done for. Access, tamper, any of it, you're done for. Behave in a manner which is detrimental to the enjoyment. What? Harassment, use of abusive or offensive language, game abandonment, game sabotage, spamming, behaving in a disruptive manner, social. Is this leaks or something else? I think I don't even know if that's part of leaks, but okay. Use Use the services in any way that it's not. These last two are just different, but the other ones are obvious ones. But yeah, that's what they're doing. So leaks in the future will not be covered by me, or most people will not cover them. It's going to be, again, in smaller areas. So if you're free to play, it is what it is. You won't know what's next. If you liked that leaks were, disappearing, and you hate leaks and you like that this is gonna happen, go for it. I'm not gonna stop you. Everyone has their opinion. If you want that as your opinion, you're more than welcome to keep it. But that's currently where it stands. Leaking is pretty much no more soon, which again, I personally didn't really see the full issue with it, but I guess, they want to make as much money as possible. I still think that leaks generate more hype. For example, Chainsaw Man was so hyped up from the community prior to it that people went into it with such a happy mood. They were like, oh, let's go. Chainsaw Man's pretty sick. And I think that was better, but, it is what it is. Again, just my opinion won't matter here. You let me know what you think. You could disagree. You could agree. Let me know. But that's the end of leaks for a while. Again, people will still leak it. I personally won't cover it. Try to find those leakers and see if they will continue it. But most people will now be pretty scared to indulge in leaks. So that is there. Peace out and enjoy. That's been it for me. Quick little video and a quick little talk about this.